Welcome back, you guys. Nini FC, Blue Lines CV, and tonight I'm joined by a special guest, Matisse Armani, where we're going to discuss Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. We spent a ton of money on both these players, and have they been living up to the goods since the season has started? Should we be sympathetic towards them, or do we have to show some tough love and expect more from these big money players? Well, tonight, you guys, we're to discuss all things Kai and Timo, but before I get into anything, I want to say a massive shout out to eToro for sponsoring Blue Lines CV. Now, eToro is a global investment platform with over 16 million registered users, and eToro allows you to invest from your stocks to your currencies and commodities to your cryptos as well. Lockdown's been killing the fun for Premier League fans, and recently eToro released a survey detailing and showing the pain that many fans are suffering. It seems the biggest distractions for fans at home are three things: pets, phones, and people answering the door during the game. Oh, they're the worst people, you guys. But what isn't bad is eToro's CopyTrader tool. This essentially allows you to copy the top performing investors on the platform, meaning that when they invest, you make the same investment automatically at no additional cost. This means that you can get on with your life and hopefully find ways to minimize these distractions that are stopping fans from enjoying games at home. If you're curious to start investing, make sure you guys are using eToro. You'll find all the relevant information in the description below, as well as the link in the description too. And now, to start today's video, of course, I'm joined by a very beautiful guest in Matisse Armani. Bro, how you doing, man? What's life saying?
It's all good to be back, my guy. It's a busy day, you know what I mean? It's the world of work now, it's great stuff. The football's coming so fast. First time we've had 6 days off. The Chelsea team. So
tell me about it. I think this is the perfect time for rest for this team, because I feel like this has been even seeing the lineup, the fixture lineup stuff from before the season starting. December was that period straight away. I was like, oh, there's a lot of games this month, and we're always dead in this December period.
Yeah.
There's no way that we're gonna get through unscathed. But anyway, of course, today you guys are here to speak about. We're here to speak about Timo Werner and Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
About wasting no time, starting with Timo Werner. Your opinion, has he been disappointing? Or
yeah, very.
Are you sympathetic?
Very, man. Very disappointing. And this is, again, a guy that was branded as versatile, you know, by the fan base as well. So we have to kind of hold that energy. And he's someone that we said, you know, we don't need a fourth winger because in times of hardship, he can go out there and play and do a job. Well, he's not doing the job. Do you know what I mean? He's not doing the job. So we need to eat our own medicine in that point. And he's missing. The thing is, a lot of his things are not down to position for me. You know, first touch should be better. Finishing should be better. These are not things for me that are dedicated to the position. The one thing that I can see is that his dribbling is not great. But he's been disappointing, and if this, and I've always wanted people to play on merit. If other players were fit, he shouldn't be starting. He shouldn't be in the starting lineup. He should be on the bench. Currently, you know, whether you want to move him to his natural position or not, I think, you know, Giroud and Tammy, you know, they've probably, for me as well, deserve a shout for that position, the way that they've been playing. But Hudson-Odoi was left out of the squad, and he was playing well. So it just goes to show that, you know, right now, for me, Timo probably needs to sit out and just take a little breather for a second.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting video already, because I'm on the opposite spectrum. I feel like even though Werner has taken a few L's, it's been some shocking misses. I think because, you know, it's not like it's anything new for the player, in my opinion. And I can see from Lampard's perspective that if you're going to punish him in that sense for not being perfect, for not taking those chances, if you're not going to be like as sympathetic towards like coming to a new country, new league, you're still, you know, figuring things out with your teammates. I just feel like in the long term, maybe we have to accept that it's going to be L's in the short term, knowing that, but Werner's going to benefit from it more, basically.
I still believe in him long term, 100%. But right now, if I'm speaking on right now, he's not playing well. And there's different ways of trying to get the best out of a player. Maybe the way to get something out of him might be actually just park him up against West Ham and bring him off the bench. Do you know what I mean? See if that brings a spark in him, because, you know, for me, it's not always just keep playing and that will necessarily get the best out of you. There's different ways of doing it. So I would take him out. I don't think on merit he doesn't deserve to play. You know, the thing is with Lampard is that he's been good, Werner, on the break in the latter of games. Got an assist against Newcastle. He got an assist in a Leeds game as well,
Yeah.
setting up Tammy and Pulisic. And then he decided that, against in the last game when he had him on the left hand, he had Pulisic on the left. He swapped them. Pulisic's better on the left, and I think Werner's been okay on the right. So I didn't understand that point, to be honest. I don't think Werner's going to improve whether he's on the left or the right. He's probably going to be the best up front, but left, right, I don't think it makes much of a difference.
I feel, obviously watching the game again, because you guys know I'm a nerd like that, I think I can understand why that was the case, because I felt that right hand side versus Wolves, we weren't seeing Reece getting forward as much like we tend to, and the experiment in the last game versus Everton failed because Kai playing in that position out wide, he's not on point enough yet to consistently have that quality and class me to play super fast down that right hand side, because as we've seen with this team, with our game plan, when we're firing on point, we build up down the right hand sides, focus the play there, nice switchboard to the opposite flank, creating an overload there where Ben can use his pace to run in behind, freeing up space for a Werner who, Werner ain't supposed to be going past 2-3 players. Like, he can carry the ball, but he's never been that dribbler, hazard figure where he should be receiving the ball on the halfway line, who's going to skip past 2-3 man. It's just not going to work like that with Werner. And I feel like, obviously, because, like I said, Ziyech ain't here to be letting us play that way, because Kai isn't fully on point just yet to be bringing those qualities that he is going to bring once he gets back there. I think this affects Werner. I think this affects what Werner can do. And I think we've all played ball, we've all played football. When you're in like an unfamiliar setting, in the sense that, let's say you're getting inconsistent distribution. Let's say you're receiving the ball in areas you don't like by the halfway line and stuff like that. Are you still expected to be mentally 100% like at your best?
Yeah, I understand your point. I mean, he reminds me of Torres a little bit. People compare him to Morata. He reminds me more of Torres, better on the last shoulder, in behind, using his pace. When he attempts to get round a person, it is very, simplistic. It is a kick and run kind of. That's really what reminds me of Torres. Torres didn't dribble, but Torres could kick it past the man. Dash, you know what I mean? And he can finish. He can finish. This is what's disappointing. If anything, he takes the harder chances a lot better than the easier ones right now. His finish against Tottenham, although it was offside, was a brilliant finish. But then he's missing on the goal line. So he is right now reminding me of Torres a little bit. But like I said, I have faith in the long term. But if I am to pick between him and Kai, I know we're going to get onto Kai as well. I am a bit more worried about Werner, because I think, what is his best position? People will say it's up front. But then I do see things that he's missing for the perfect striker that he's going to definitely have to improve on. And I remember, like I always say, Drogba had many challenges to his position. This is actually his striking role. So Werner's got a long way to go to cement his place long term every single week. So for me, I think Kai's got a bit more variety in his game, but Werner, his heading ability is going to have to improve, with Reece James, otherwise we're not utilising that threat, and his first touch and link up is definitely going to have to improve just as a modern day forward in general. So
I think that will come though, man. I think that will come. And here's the thing. I know it's a common debate now about okay, Werner, what is his best position? What's Lampard doing with him? Obviously, watching him at RB, last season in particular, Nagelsmann did a bit of a mazza in terms of, he found a very niche role to get the very best out of Werner. But the reality is, it's not hard to achieve something like that. The thing is, we signed Werner because we wanted him to be the last guy to arrive late inside the box to just tap the ball in the net. And if you look at the goals he scored at RB, there's literally 3 or 4 types of goals that he only scores. And the most common goal is that one where he's entering the space from late arrival. But to get that service set up for him, we need that right hand side to be on point, which we've seen when Ziyech and Reece have been on point. So I do feel like circumstances with Kai not being the player that he definitely is going to be by the time the seasons start coming to its end, to be honest, with how I'm seeing things. Until we have those proper conditions, it means that Werner can't fully get the service that he feels comfortable normally receiving, like when he was getting the goals for us, not too long ago.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think another thing with Werner is that he was playing a lot better when Tammy was there.
Yeah, 100%.
Going well, good partnership. You know, Tammy's a bit more mobile, so maybe he didn't take up the center spaces where he likes to run into.
Exactly. And you know what the thing is, yeah? Obviously, this whole thing between Tammy, Giroud, I don't know why everything sort of be so tribalistic. Like, these are all guys from our same team. Like, we should support them all regardless. But I feel with Giroud, because he's more used as a target man, he's staying central in the areas. Yeah, at times it's sick to have him fending off opposition defenders. But because he ain't moving, because he ain't stretching no lines, he ain't getting in behind, I feel like maybe that might make Werner even more static in that sense, because, you know, what areas can he move into if Giroud is just occupying that space? Like you're saying with Tammy's ability to drop deep, he was drifting out wide to the left and right, just that tactical balance. I felt we were very good on top with Tammy, especially from pressing from the top too. I mean, Tammy, he works hard. Works. Even that game versus Wolves, there was that run when he came, like, ran 50, 60 yards to win the ball in the 87th minute. You know what I mean? I feel like I get why people want to see Giroud, because, you know, people just wait for one slip up from Tammy. But for me, I always care about what makes the team better. I don't care who's the goal scorer. If Tammy is going to make other guys play better, like Werner, like Kai, like whoever, then he's got to play.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of does, but again, this is the headache for Frank, because you've got Giroud who's on a merit-based system, he deserves to play. But then, you know, Tammy arguably is getting the best out of Kai and Timo, because I think Kai had a little good link up with him against Barnsley. I know the opposition wasn't great, but they did show signs as well. So it's a headache for Frank in terms of what he's going to do. And then on top of that, he's got to rotate anyway, just because of the heavy fixture list. So we're never really going to see a consistent attacking lineup anyway, because they need to be rotated. So it's a headache right now.
It's a mad headache.
Yeah, what they do have, you know, their advantage is they've got 6 days. They have 6 days before the West Ham game, from the last game, to train, because I don't think they've had much time to train. And I think, you know, people maybe underestimate that point, is that they haven't had much time to actually train on maybe a system or something like that they can use as a secondary option. And it's the same for every club. So yeah, I'm looking forward to West Ham, because I think not only do we have to win, but I have to see better performances. Now everyone's getting their rest. Everyone's got plenty of time now to prepare for that game, mentally and physically as well.
Yeah, I feel so too. It's going to be curious to see what type of attacking lineup we use. I'm focused on the front three. I see us using the front three again. Are we going to be going for a Pulisic, maybe Werner on the bench, like Giroud with down the right hand sides? It depends if Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi can come back in time. But it's just interesting that, of course, in that game, I feel like the balance versus Wolves wasn't on point up front. Like, obviously, we were speaking earlier about how Pulisic was playing very well down the left-hand side and had to move down to the right-hand side. And obviously, down the left, you could see how he was literally turning Semedo inside and out whenever he wanted. You know what I mean? It made me realise why Barcelona have been looking to get rid of Semedo for so long, because this is Pulisic not even fully fit and he's just like spinning him like this. But obviously, moving to the right hand side, we had to get Reece in the game, and Pulisic is better at, I guess, playing in them spaces compared to Werner. And then having Werner down the left hand side then means that obviously we can, but it never worked, because Pulisic ain't someone that's literally gonna be playing like playmaker with the fullback. He wants to get inside the box, he wants to move, and I felt like it's one of the main reasons why we weren't able to stretch Wolves whatsoever. I think that's why people were moaning about the heat map, like Werner, obviously, just being out wide stationed by himself. But I was just thinking to myself, bruv, why does everyone takes these like stat photos out of context as if there's not an opposition team? Like, I think we all saw the pass map, right, of like the little like U shape. You know what I mean? There's no players in the middle. We got Werner hugging the touchline out wide on the left, X, Y, Z. The reason why it was shaped like that is because all that space in the middle was parked by Wolves players that weren't moving at all. So I feel like this is what I mean.
Clever tactics from Wolves, if anything, to force us out wide.
Clever. I think we didn't play as well too, which made it easier. I didn't think Wolves were at their best, to be honest. I thought they were competing, but I've seen them play better, to be honest. But I feel like all these circumstances worked against us. And I think right now, for me, it's them ones where just there's no need to really take these losses too serious, in my opinion. I think if we lose against West Ham, then yeah, I think everything becomes reevaluated again. But I think right now, circumstances for me.
No, I have to agree. I mean, one thing I will say is I was a little bit disappointed with the changes. I feel like, again, the interchanging of the wingers didn't make any sense to me. That's the one thing that I can't really legislate for, really, because I just feel like we should learn from the fact that Pulisic tore it up last season at the end of lockdown on the left, and maybe just make things easier for ourselves. Because yes, the team was very lopsided then, but you know, he was very good. And like I said, I just feel like Werner, no matter where you play him right now, whether it's the left wing or the right wing, you're not going to really get different results. I think he, you know, I don't think it's really down to position. I just think we just need to tactically utilize him a bit better and not really play into his weaknesses, because we know tight spaces he's not the best. We know first touch is not the best now, which is a mad thing.
But that's the thing though. How do we create them spaces for Werner?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the way Aubameyang used to use. Well, I look at the way Arsenal used to use Aubameyang, or how they should be using Aubameyang. He's not the most link-up striker ever. Anyway, they're very similar in that respect, where he wouldn't be the best for a link-up play either. You've just got to get them in behind. Like, really, Werner should be playing for me as a second striker on the last shoulder. It does create this gap on that left-hand side where there's a lot of space. I think Mason Mount and Chilwell can take up that space. We know Chilwell likes to get forward, but really Werner's not, you know, I would play Werner a lot higher. And if anything, you know, you've got a Giroud or Tammy who can drop deeper and let them get involved in the link-up. You know, I think Tammy's link-up has been underestimated. Now that maybe Werner's not doing it so well, people will start to see that Tammy's improved in that side of the game. Giroud, we know, is good at it. I'd just drop them deeper. If you need someone to come and act as, you know, a link-up striker, that would be the guy that I'd go with and continue to just keep having Werner make those runs. The issue now is that Ziyech is not fit, so that diagonal ball is kind of gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So that doesn't help.
Yeah, and Kai should be bringing that same quality, which he can, 100%. But right now he's got his own issues too. So this is what I mean. Just instantly, the space creators that we need for the left-hand side to work. So Werner doesn't have to be by the halfway line. So Werner doesn't have to beat 2-3 players to get inside the box. Yeah. We have to be more efficient with how we're playing in the final third. And, you know what I mean? I feel like we just explained it enough. If we don't have Z or Kai on point down that right with Reece, then who's going to be, you know, creating the overloads down the left for Ben and Werner? Ain't going to happen. But obviously, I find it interesting. Obviously, you're saying Werner, shoulder and behind. I mean, I do think that as the season goes on, I think there'll be times where we see that two up front. There's going to be times where we see 4-3-3. It's literally going to depend on like the opponents we're up against. But I don't think Werner is flopping. And to be honest, man, my take is, listen, when you're 24 years old, you're not a complete player. You're not until you're 27, 28. So if Werner needs to get better at link-up play, if Werner needs to get better at holding the ball up, he came to the perfect club to become a more complete player. And I think sometimes, I know no one likes watching like players fail and stuff, but sometimes it's about education and learning, and you know, you have to accept that, you know, people need to overcome hurdles.
100%. And yeah, that's why I say long term, I'm not really worried. His mentality is spot on as well, so we know that. It's really just about us settling on a certain position for him, and I don't really mind where it is, as long as then when we find it, we kind of keep him there, and then we need to utilize him. I think Kai was brought in as the obviously he was always brought in to start games, but if Ziyech was out, Kai could kind of do his role on the right wing and make those same switches, and that's where we've kind of lost out, is that Kai hasn't been doing that, and Kai's not in the best run of form. So I think that's why Lampard went and got 2 left footers and not just one, and got a very versatile left footer in Kai in that respect as well. So we really just need everyone to take their game up to another notch. We've got West Ham, then Arsenal, decent break in between the both of them. Yeah. So a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, this month is, like I said, imagine we're ending with we've got 2 more London derbies. Like, it's just a mad month, but I'm just hoping come the press conference, Lampard's going to be telling me some positive news about Hudson and about Ziyech, and, you know, just more positive things like that, to be honest. But there you guys, that was our thoughts and opinions on Werner's season so far, and Kairos as well, and, you know, some of our thoughts on that defeat against Wolverhampton too. So, of course, in the comments below, you guys know what to do. You can find Matisse's channel in the description. You can see it on screen. Make sure you give him a follow. great guests on, welcome parts of the Chelsea community, and of course you guys know, like, comment, subscribe. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Line CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.